All right, guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Takeover. I'm Winston Hawkins, as you know, your two-time champion.
Santi, you're 1.5 time champion. Last year's champion was an asterisk. Josh knows it. Everyone knows it. I should have won.
We all know it. So we're trying to give you all a break from the boring talk show and get a little more action here, a little more without the bias tendencies some of the
Yes.
podcast gives us. But we're gonna do your draft grades for the 2023-2024 season. Yeah, should we get started?
Yeah, just so everybody knows out there, obviously, this is the hater cast. If you don't like the grade we give your team, it's all personal, honestly. And it's because we don't like your team, man. We hate you as people. So let's go.
All right. First up, we have Reed Clark. So honestly, looking at Reed's team, I was impressed. I hate to say it, I was impressed. Um, he has one of the best teams, I think, in the league on paper. I mean, you got Herbert, Prescott. Prescott's hit or miss, but again, he is going to sling the ball. Devontae, Tyreek, Mike Williams, maybe. Running backs, Najee. I like Najee, but I'm not a fan of Najee this year. James Carter is the only running back there until maybe they get Kareem Hunt. Who knows? But we all know Reed somehow is going to be Reed. But on paper, it's all right. So I gave him an A minus. It was not a bad draft. I think he picked the people at the right spots. He didn't reach. He went with what worked. So it's a decent draft. It's a decent draft.
Yeah, Reed definitely has a good team. I give him an A grade. His fantasy team reminds me of his real life team, Finn's Twitter. Obviously, on paper, on Twitter, it's cocky, it's good. But once we hit the field and we got to make some moves, Reed's going to mess it up somehow and end up in that 7-8 game, just like he always does. And if he proves us wrong, there'll be a miracle. But Reed, love your team, don't love your management. All
How,
personal.
how you feel about the rumors that he's been taking PEDs?
Yes, the PED rumors. Some sources out there who shall not be named are telling us Reed is taking performance enhancers for fantasy this year. Is it going to work? I don't know. We saw what Barry Bonds did allegedly. We'll see what Reed can do allegedly.
Didn't get caught. Again, Reed's a second half killer. This man does not show up in the second half. So maybe he'll change it this year. Maybe he won't. I don't know. Like most likely, he's probably not going to win it all. Let's be real. Because if he does win it, please help the league. All right. Next up, Santi. We have yourself, man. So I'm gonna start with you. So I gave you a B minus. I do like your team. I do think it is top heavy though. You have again two quarterbacks that I personally want. I had last year: Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrows. I think Lamar is going to come out and just destroy the league this year. He's hungry. People have been people have been knocking him off, taking him out of their top five, top six. No, like he's about to come out with a vengeance. Jamar Chase, DK, Pickens, I think is going to be have a great year this year. I mean, great wide receiver talent, good QB talent, but I think that's where it ends. It's top heavy. Running backs are questionable. Samaje, Brian Robinson. I mean, Brees Hall could come back but like with Cook there, who knows? Swift, I like Swift. I think he's going to do well, but again, that's running back by committee. So that's why I gave you the B minus.
See, the issue is you're looking at this logically. My team doesn't make sense. There might be a running back by committee, but somehow DeAndre Swift is become the main guy in Philadelphia and rush for about 2,000 yards. Jonathan Taylor's going to get traded to the Broncos. He's going to rush for 2,000 yards. Brees Hall rushed for 1,500 starting on week 4. My team's going to start off about 2-3 as we get healthy, but after that, we're not losing the game again. So I give myself an A grade starting from week 4 on.
So you feel good about the Jonathan Taylor rumors right now? That I mean, all
Absolutely. He's healthy
okay.
again now. He was
So
he
you
was
don't,
fake hurt.
but again, you don't think Irsay is going to just sit there and say, "I'm gonna get my best offer. Nobody's going to trade for a running back." So now
They
you have
just want
opportunity to sit
one
there all
first
year.
round. They just want a first round pick. That's all they need.
Who's trading for a running back though?
Doesn't matter. Somebody will. The Rams will do it.
Look, if your
They'll
team's
find a way to
bad,
get a
just if your
pick.
team's bad, just say your team's bad. It's
My
okay.
team's not bad. Hey, I'm gonna win the league. Y'all let me get John Taylor in the 4th round, and that's the reason I'm gonna win the league.
I should have got him in 12th, but hey, I'll make the picks here. All right, we're gonna move on. Next up, we have Hooley. You want to start with Hooley? You gave him a good grade.
Yeah,
I'll let you start with
yeah.
Hooley.
So Hooley, I give him an A minus. I think he has a really good team. His quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. He has ETN. He has Stephon Diggs. And of course, he has my boy Mike Evans, who's going to have another 1,000-yard receiving year. Doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. It could be Trask. It could be Baker. It don't matter. He's going to get 1,000 yards. The only issue Hooley's going to have is managing his team. He obviously works a full-time job. He's a dad. His first season as a dad. That takes a lot. Ask Carlos. He's about 8 years into it. Still can't figure out the balance. So if Hooley can figure out how to manage the time, he'll be a good season. So that's the X factor for his team.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I think I gave Hooley a B plus. I think Hooley has a very strong team. He had a good draft. Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, both top tier quarterbacks. ETN, Kenneth Walker, two of the best young running backs in the game. Diggs, I think Evans going to have another 1,000 yard year. I mean, they're going to want to continue that history. Even though he doesn't have good QB play, he is going to get fed. He is going to get the deep ball. And that division is very weak. Kittle should have a good year, but again, injuries is a big thing with him. Is he going to stay on the field? Is he going to be? Well, there's so many weapons. He's going to be useful in the offense. Purdy loves him, so I mean, I can see it. Zay Flowers, they're saying he's the best wide receiver on that core with OBJ there, so that a good pickup there. My only thing is he has no depth. So if somebody, let's say something else happened, bye weeks come up, there is nobody filling those holes. I think Zeke is just just an end zone guy. Thielen is going to have a good year, PPR guy, but he's not going to give you those big points. He'll give you probably average 10 points a game. But just the depth there is just not what I'm seeing. I do like his team. That's why I did give him a B plus. But again, Hooley, we know how Hooley is. He's either top or bottom. There is no in between. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Next up is the guy we're replacing, Joshua.
Mr. Asterisk himself, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa.
Since you played in the championship, I'll let you start off with him. Get everything out right now.
Well, folks, as you all know, honestly, I'm kind of happy I lost because I don't want to be commissioner. I just want to have the ring. I don't want to do the responsibilities of it. So it's like a 50-50 how I feel about it. But Josh's team, I gave him a B grade. He has a pretty good team. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, first overall pick, should have a really good year. He got Amon-Ra, another guy should have a good year with Jared Goff and that Detroit offense. He has Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll have a good year. We'll see how the offensive line holds up. And then he does have Daniel Jones starting. I think he's going to suck, but he did draft Anthony Richardson, which I think is going to have a good year because that is also a pretty weak division. So overall, he has a pretty decent team. If Keenan Allen could stay healthy, that's a pretty sleeper pick on his team right there and give him a lot of points. But overall, not a bad team, but I hate you.
I mean, Josh personally, I mean, somehow he finds a way to win. Like, again, I would say this to the death of me. Josh draft last year sucked. It was terrible. This year he did better. I think Josh has the best wide receiver room, best wide receiver room in the league right now. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, Amon, Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley, Jackson Smith. I mean, the talent, the depth is there in wide receiver. Running back, Chubb, solid. I think he's starting to hit. I think he's going to hit a wall. We saw with Deshaun Watson last year. You saw him downgrade there. So I wonder if he's going to pick it up there. Dobbins, hit or miss. They're going to use them, but they do have a ton of running backs there as well. Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers. Daniel Jones is a okay play. He just hit or miss. You'll get 5 points. You'll get 30 points. Aaron Rodgers, I think, will be consistent 18 to 20 guy each week. That was good. I literally wanted to pick him up in that week and that round, but it is what it is. So I did get Josh. What I give Josh? I gave Josh a B. I think he's going to find a way to try again, pick up pieces where he needs to. He is a okay in-game manager. I mean, when you get to pick off Brent's team, I mean, I guess you get to do what you got to do. Again, I think he's not going to three-peat though. Let's be real. He's not going to three-peat. He'll sneak into the playoffs. He'll lose in the first round, and he'll be over his commissioner. I know he's tired of it, and yeah, we'll be done with him and his podcast, and I guess that's also a bonus for everybody, right?
That's right.
Let's see.
Next up, we have John.
Oof. Now we're officially starting the stress corner of the drafts. John, again, came out the gates hot with Mahomes. I'm not mad at it because again, if you want Mahomes, you were not getting him back, coming back in the second round. You weren't getting him. Get your guy, right? Get your guy, supersize. But I gave John a C plus. Like it's not a terrible team. It's not. It's again when you have Mahomes, you can't really have the worst team out there. It's a good team. I mean, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Deshaun should play better. Josh Jacobs scares me. Not a lot of reps in training camp. He's probably gonna come out a little slow early. Miles Sanders is going to get all the reps there again, but is it going to be productive? Jerry Jeudy, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper. I mean, it's everything's just good. There's nothing that just sticks out to me with John's team. I think he has a lot of he has a high ceiling where he could do well. I just don't see it getting there. My man's stressed though. I think he's gonna stress out early. He's gonna just try to pick apart his team because they might lose early, and it's gonna get ugly. So we'll see.
Yeah, he definitely has a team where it does seem like he'll have a slow start to his season. People like Jerry Jeudy, people expect a bounce back year with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. If it's like week 2 or 3 thing, you might try to get rid of Jerry Jeudy and then turn around by week 10, he's out here averaging 25 points a game. Just because if that's John's luck, they don't perform on his team and they get traded and somehow they start performing well. I also give him a C. It's one of those teams where it's a good team. They're not gonna championship come in last place. It's like, just a run-of-the-mill team. They'll win some games, they'll lose some games.
I agree with that. Like it's John, just don't get. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna get a championship again. I mean, it's been a long run. 2026 your year, buddy. 2026, you got this. Now we're in the best spot of the draft. This is where we are going to talk about the worst draft I've probably ever seen. I am not going to even lie to you guys. We are getting to Brent Graves himself. Again, Brent, thank you for hosting. We had a great time. It was great to get all the guys together. But my God. So you want me to start? So you want to?
Yeah, you can start. You were in the room with him when you drafted.
I was next to Brent. When you have Antonio helping you, I mean, what do you expect right now? Like, you have Antonio right there with you, trying to give you man is working like fucking Dwight in the office, just checking all boxes. But again, look, Jalen Hurts, love him, my boy. Justin Fields, I think he's gonna have a good year. He's a fantasy machine. He's gonna run you 100 yards in the pass for 100 yards. It's fine. But from there, like, what did you do? Like Gibbs again, young talent. He's sharing a backfield with your other running back, Montgomery, I guess. So I guess you're all in the Lions. Maybe I'm assuming you'll switch this out, but right now this is looking ugly. Christian Watson again. That is your best wide receiver. Christian Watson is your best wide receiver. Again, he's going to get talent. He's going to get reps. He also might get double teamed. I don't know. Jordan Love could be straight. Okay. DJ Moore, again, cool. He's good. Fields don't throw the ball. But all right, we'll go from there. Waller, I like the Waller pick. I want Waller myself. That was a great pick. Shaw White should have a good year. I mean, he's the only guy there. Bucks suck, but when you go there, like Drake London, I mean, Jordan Addison, like this man has the best dynasty draft I've ever seen.
Yes,
this
it's
man's
very
going to
good
kill it in
draft.
2026, 2027. Brent, you're finally going to get that championship, my dog. You're going to fucking finally get it.
This would be a team I like to just print out and kind of keep it in the archives to see how they score per week in 5 years.
Like this is the best team in 2027. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, obviously on paper, no. It looks bad on paper for us this year, but honestly, Brent spends hours on and researching. There might be something he knows that we don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I do believe in Gibbs.
So look. Think of it. Brent does go to Buffalo Wild Wings a lot. He does have the pause and play.
He does.
I don't know. That there might be something to that. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah, if he wins 5 games, it's a miracle. So he's going to do a lot of in-season management and a lot of trades. So we'll see how it goes for you, Brent. But thank you for hosting the draft and thanks for zooming me in and great performance pregame.
So with that, we both gave him a D. I'm not sure if we said that, but
yeah, it was a D grade.
Probably should have been F, but you hosted us, so we gave you a letter bump. All right, next up we got Lou. Lou. All right, again another new dad. LJ was great to have you there. But you could have helped your dad a little bit on this team. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not a bad team. It's not a good team. It's there. It's there. Kenny Pickett, golf. I mean, not bad. Not gonna get you any kind of crazy points. You gotta hope they throw 300 yards to give you any kind of hope of getting the 25 plus 2025 plus points, but it could happen. Aaron Jones, without the other Aaron, who knows? Damian Pierce, I mean, I think he's going to bounce back year, but who knows? Cup, again, he's going to be carrying the team. Kelsey going to be carrying the team. Olave going to be carrying the team. Max, I think he's going to have a good year. I think it's going to be a good year, but everything's just subpar. It's nothing like takes you over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah, his team kind of reminds me of John, just a little bit more exciting. Obviously, having Kelsey and Cup are always a good pick on a team. Those guys are definitely get you points. And obviously, Alvin Kamara is a good option to have down there. Like, he'll miss the first 3 weeks, but obviously it's a long season, so missing 3 games isn't that big of a deal. And you never know, Kyler coming back with that terrible team, they might be tanking for another quarterback. Who knows how Kyler will do once he's back? But that's not a bad option to have on your bench to replace Kenny Pickett later on in the season. I think he's one of those teams where if he plays it right, he's gonna. I think every week he'll have the same exact score. It depends if his opponent has a good week or a bad week on how many games he wins.
The Julio effect last year.
Yep.
Uh, okay, and with that, I gave Lewis C.
I gave a C plus.
So again, there's room for improvement for sure. There's a lot of upside, but it needs some work, and it'll be an in season moves for sure. Who does he play first? Plays Hooley. Nice. All right. I guess next up we have myself. I guess I'll
Yep.
let you start this one off.
Let me pull up your team. I think I gave you an F grade because your team's just really bad, but that's all right. So I actually gave you a B grade. And my reason is, let's see, you have a good running back room, McCaffrey and Barkley. Obviously, those guys can both get hurt, and if they both get hurt, your season may be over. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb's a good pick to have. T. Higgins, love T. Higgins. He's the reason I lost championship last year because we all saw what happened. Javonte Williams was a great pickup. That's what I really wanted. But if Jonathan Taylor gets traded to Denver, that goes out the window, and your team's going to suck. But overall, it's not a bad team. Tua and Russell Wilson as the quarterbacks, that's iffy. I think Tua should have a good year with Mike McDaniels if he can keep his brain inside his head. He's been doing some judo, learning how to, fall and tackle. But Russell Wilson, that's going to be a tough one. People here out here in Denver aren't speaking very highly yet so far. They haven't seen much improvement, but it's still early on. They have time to do it, so we'll see what happens. But I'll give a B grade. Not bad, but not great.
I gave myself a B minus. Again, I personally think I have the best running back room in the league. Um, with that, I mean, I think my wide receivers can hang with anybody as well. But like you said, the QBs are a high risk, high reward. Tua can go out in a heartbeat. Russell, who knows if Russ is back? If he doesn't have a good year this year, he might be looking to hang it up. Especially another kid on the way. That's kind of halfway at why I picked them. We're kind of sharing the kid thing. But overall, I think my team is good. I think I do have room for improvements. It's not as bad as like Brent or Lou or something like that, but it has some room for improvement. I think I have a high ceiling with Pitts, Hawkins. I think Hawkins is gonna get all the targets there as well, especially with the injuries of what's his face, Burks. So yeah, I mean I feel good. I feel good. I think. Thank you. Luckily, I get a bye week coming off the first week with Brent, and then we can get back and we can start the season. So we'll see how we go from there. But I gave myself a B minus. It's not bad. It's not great, but it'll get the job done. Next up, let's see. Next up, we have Ryan. So Ryan was also in the stress corner. I gave him a C plus. Let me get to this team real quick on here. So Ryan's team, I I liked it because it's similar to mine, but a little worse. Like that's why you get him a C plus instead of a B. Like QB room, Stafford, Jimmy might not even last the whole year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jimmy might not last the whole year. Stafford, I think he's gonna bounce back year. He'll sling the ball around. I think he'll have a good year. Bijan, he's gonna do his thing. Derrick Henry, I think he's gonna do his thing. Um, Ramondre Stevenson will be good in early downs. He's not gonna get those touchdowns with Zeke there, unfortunately. So that could be a little hurt too. Debo, I don't know how Debo lasted the fifth round. I think one of the steals of the draft for sure. I didn't get him because I already had McCaffrey, so I just didn't want to stack it up. But like I couldn't believe he kept dropping and dropping the way he did. Um, but yeah, I mean, and like not like he has some debt. Like Lockett, Solid, Sutton's gonna have, I think, a decent year. Jahan Dawson, if Scary Terry's injured, that is gonna be the steal of the draft for sure. And that propels him to number 1 wide receiver. So that would change that if he's for sure injured long, that changes the C plus to B minus. But overall, I think he needs room for improvement. He's probably gonna make some trades. Probably trade Brent for Hurts or something later in the year. But we'll see. I think the team's average though. Team's average.
Yeah, so we disagreed the most on our grades. I gave him a B. I like his team overall. I don't see too many weak spots on his team. I think most of the guys he have are good, solid players. Even with his bench, I think the hardest decision he's going to have is whatever matchup comes up. If who he plays in that flex, because if you like you said, he has a pretty good bench, pretty good starters. They're all pretty similar. It just depends on who he plays that week in the matchups. But I think he has a pretty solid overall team that's pretty consistent with a lot of good names on there.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I mean, Ryan manages decently well. Again, he either be on top or he'll be on bottom. I pause, but
All right, Dallas Dixon Dallas.
all right. And our final guy.
Everybody's favorite fantasy player.
Carlos was stressing. So that just shows me he does care a little bit. How many mock drafts do you think Carlos did before this?
Considering what he said, I'm gonna say that 3, which would be more than tripled if he's in the past 10 years.
I'll say that's triple over 10 years. I'm pretty sure Kristen has done more mock drafts than him over the last 10 years. So it makes sense. I was very interested in his quarterback play. I mean, Cousins and Bryce Young. Bryce has not looked good in preseason so far. It's I don't know. Cousins is JJ dependent too as well. Addison being there is going to help, but Cousins not going to run. You're basically on everything on passing. So again, up and down. Cousins can win you a matchup. Cousins can lose you real quick a matchup. Eckler, Pollard, Akers, Mixon, great, very good running back room. AJ, solid. Godwin, solid. Andrews, solid. And hopefully nobody gets injured because the depth is just not there. It is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The depth is pretty bad. I think he has a decent team. Mark Andrews is one of those people where I'm surprised he fell kind of far. Obviously, he's always been a good fantasy quarterback with Lamar, but obviously they picked up Zay Flowers. They got OBJ. They got Rashad Bateman. So Mark Andrews might not be the same Mark Andrews of past, but I think Chris Godwin should be a really interesting player for him. Obviously, in Tampa, the quarterback play, we don't know what's going on. So a guy who kind of the inside guy, slot receiver who kind of gets some quick passes, quick slants. Godwin could have a good year as long as he stays healthy. And obviously having Eckler and Pollard should be good, but I think they're both coming close to contract years, which means they might get hurt or they might rush for 2,000 yards. So
I say contract season is hit or miss. It will be either Carlos could win this year again, especially if Bad Bunny is performing. If Bad Bunny's performing in the Super Bowl, you might see Carlos in the championship this year, or he's gonna lose. Carlos, it just depends on how in-game management. Carlos doesn't do it well or at all. I don't know. I just can't see. It's a decent team, but again, Carlos gets a C grade, but based on future, he doesn't manage his team well. He doesn't know how to just adapt to every situation. It is what it is here, and I just don't see him ever winning that.
One of the biggest downfalls he has, obviously, he has a baseball practice for his kid. So it seems like Sunday might be a day to practice. So tell the coaches, Don't play any games around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because you have to keep up with your injuries. And if you miss a game, that's baseball's fault. And tell your son that baseball's over. Fantasy football is more important. His happiness means nothing
Again,
if you get a trophy out of it.
I've been doing it for years. I got trophies to show for it. Carl's the bum. Carl's just the bum. Straight bum. Well, that wraps up our draft. Me and Sonny gonna give our quick predictions on Sacco and playoffs. So I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, so for my playoff predictions, I'll give the 6 teams I think are going to make it. I put it in order, but I don't think this is actually the seedings, but I think it's me, myself, Winston, Hooley, Reed, Ryan, and Carlos will make the playoffs this year. And for the Sacco, I think Brent will win back-to-back Saccos, losing to John in that pivotal game.
Mine's not in order as well. I have myself, Reed, Hooley, Josh, you, and Ryan. I got John as my Sacco this year. John versus Brent as my Sacco this year. Guys, thank you for having us here today. Honestly, you guys do suck. I mean, I love being in this league, but it's tough that we get the same winners every year. I mean, it gotta get boring to you guys. It's either me, Josh, Santi, or Holy or Ryan. Like, one of you guys had to step up and win this year. I mean, but looking at your teams like Lou, John, Brent, Reed, I just don't. I don't see y'all doing it. Y'all don't have what it takes to win this league, and it's sad to see, honestly. Brent, Josh, thanks for letting us take over. You guys are what makes this league special for sure. Without somebody doing some lame research and the other guy trying to hype him up, and, dick riding, we wouldn't be the league we are. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and if we have any listeners who are not part of our 10 members of the group, we appreciate you listening. And if you're this far into the podcast, you should probably get a live because there's no reason to be this far into this podcast if you're not in this league, but we do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you to all the 6 followers. You guys appreciate it. Burke, we're talking to you. All right, buddy.
Good seeing you in Savannah.
See you guys.
See ya.